signs. All I see is dollar signs. Oh, money on my mind. Money on my mind.
How you doing, everyone? It is Saturday, November 26, 2016. The markets are closed. We just got finished with Thanksgiving. And before we get going here, definitely hope and wish everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We got so much to be thankful for. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday. But let's talk about setting limit orders so we get our price. So today we're talking about getting our price because we want to dictate the terms, just like I talk about all the time. We want to be the house. Have you ever heard of a casino being the house? Well, that's what we want to be when we have our shares. We want to write covered calls dictating the price and the terms. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you a couple examples. Now, before we get going, I want to say thank you to all those. That's a little milestone for me. That's 50 subs. That's organic. That's you 100%. I'm having fun. And I know that a lot of you are enjoying what I'm doing. And, it may not be the all-encompassing
apparently Bud Light
encyclopedia of covered call
Miller Lite
writing
has more taste,
training,
fewer calories,
but I think
and
what you're
half the
enjoying
carbs.
is you're enjoying
Well,
that
that's
talk
one easy
about
to-
the finer intricacies of writing a covered call and going through that process and watching it. Then you probably like how I show you my wins, my fails, okay, and my bigger picture, okay, my bigger picture of creating an empire, becoming a covered call millionaire. I can do it. You can do it too. I want to say thank you for all that hit that subscribe button. And if you're new, I want you to hit that subscribe button because I do talk about things that might interest you with covered call writing or just getting ahead. Just getting ahead with a great, what I believe is a great investing strategy where we are the house, we dictate our terms, and we can make that guaranteed income. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So we're going to talk about MPC. If you watch my videos, you know I love Phillips 66. The refineries are in a great spot where the oil is going up, the price of gas is inching up, and the difference between a price of oil and gasoline, they call that the crack spread. Basically, that's where refiners make their juicy premiums on what they do. And right now, it's a good spread, and they are having great earnings, okay? So I like Phillips 66. I like Marathon Petroleum. There are a ton others, but those are the two that I like. And I played Phillips 66, I believe, for a $2,600 gain just a couple months ago. So this time, I picked Marathon Petroleum. Now, little back history. I've been watching Marathon Petroleum since they split off Marathon Oil. When they split, that's when Phillips 66 split from Conoco. So I've always had them on my watch list. Never owned the stock. Have owned Phillips 66 many times, but Marathon is one that I've always wanted to own. And Marathon has come out with some interesting news. Marathon has there's some people on the board that are essentially looking to break things up. They want to this company that I don't know if it's a hedge fund or individual investor. He basically wrote a letter to Marathon saying, look, I'd love to see you guys split up into 3 companies. I think Marathon wrote back saying, hey, we're already in the process. Open arms, this might happen. Marathon stock loved it, and you could see right here. Actually, it's a nice steady Eddie play here for a nice covered call right. They pay a decent dividend down here. I believe they pay, what do they pay? I think they pay, I think they pay about $1.50 a year. But the news came, and look what happened. It spikes higher. Wall Street loves it. And now I've been watching Marathon. A lot of good things happening here. They're not at an all-time high. Their all-time high is way back here. So you could see with the sell-off in oil in February, it's essentially, I think they had some interesting earnings earlier in the year, caused their stock to dip off, okay? But notice this, it is rallying once again. So I decided, hey, I'm going to pick up some Marathon, and I'm going to go for it. So I picked up 500 shares, and one of the things that I want to do is I want to set a limit order. And limit orders are critical because I get my price. And this is what I'd like you to do as well. I could set my limit. I could get a market order, and in this case, it would have been 95 cents for the option I sold. But I wanted $1. And in this case, I didn't get $1, but this is how I do it. This is how I do it. Most of the time I get it. This time I didn't, but I'm going to show you screenshots of how you do it in the future. So here's a little Google Slides here, and I'm going to just read this here. How and why I set limit orders for my covered calls. I typically never use market orders because you set a market order, you might not get the market price, you might get less. And I'm ponying up my shares, so I am going to dictate the terms. So I want my price, and I want it with a limit order. I generally get my price, but remember that crumb. If I were to pick the market price versus the price I want, that crumb helps us possibly cover our costs for the trade. So it's important to get your price. And in this case, you may not be able to see this here, and wish I could bring it up here. In fact, I can. Let's do this. In this case, hope you can see that. Right here, the bid is 90 cents. And had I done a market order, I would have gotten 90 cents for this. Okay? But I wanted $1. So notice here when I went to set my my call here on five contracts, I wanted $1. There's the bid. I would have gotten 90 right away, but I want $1. So I put it out there as $1 and I hit place the order. Okay? Now, the next screen here, as you can see this, as Phillips is moving higher, see how the stock price is moving higher just by pennies? Notice how the bid ask starts to work in my favor. Notice when I placed it, it was at 90 cents. And then as the stock just moved a penny and a half, I get the 95-cent bid here. That's 5 cents. I want that 5 cents. I still have my $1 bid. Now, I never got that $1 bid, but I took the 95 cents because I split the difference. 90 cents, 95 cents. I'll take the 95. And you'll see here, I got my order for 95 cents, okay? And then ultimately here, you'll see that it filled. Boy, it's going to be tough for you to see this here. There it is. It filled. And on this trade, we're going to talk about the trade a little bit. If my shares are taken away in this 4-week duration, okay, as you can see at 95 cents, this trade will equal 6.7%. Notice the crumbs there of a $1,600 gain. And of course, if we annualize that out, that's 40% on the year. Okay. So I want you to utilize your ability to set a limit order. Okay. Don't go for that bid all the time, because earlier in my videos, I showed you where I was worried. I wasn't going to get the price I wanted. And I put my bid a little bit under what I wanted, and it snatched it right away. And I couldn't believe it. I gave away some crumbs. So I like to always put a limit order, and I put it out there. I like to put it maybe above the ask, like $1.05, maybe $1.05 in this case I should have put. Okay? You don't know. The market makers may be looking to fill orders. Get your price. Okay? And a great example is I tried to get a Microsoft. I want to sell my Microsoft shares. So right now Microsoft trades at about 60-30. So I want my price. I want my shares taken away. I put in a 59 for $2.05. Okay? Did not get it. But I wanted my price. So right now I'm sitting there with Microsoft with no covered call working. I'll look at that on Monday. I'll revisit that. But I want my price. I do not want to settle for the bid. Okay? So I hope, if anything, this video shows you that what we want to do is we want to set our price. We want to dictate the terms by setting a limit order. And when you set that limit order, you set it, for me, I set it at the ask, because you never know. In just a 1.5 penny move, that bid and ask went from, that bid went from 90 cents to 95 cents. That 5-cent crumb might be the difference between when I ultimately possibly go to buy this option back. I can take that 5 cents and give it away, right, when I buy it back, if I buy it back, right? And it's a wash. I'm feeling good. I can maybe sell the shares right in another covered call. That's the exit strategy later. But for right now, I want you to think about that bid, that ask. Ask for a little bit more and see if you get it. Okay? So, again, I hope you learned something about the bid and the ask. Remember, we sell the bid, we buy the ask. And even on when you want to buy that option back, say this same option fell from $1 all the way down to 10 cents, right? 10 cents. I want to buy that option back, give away the 10 cents, so I can then take these same shares and write another covered call, maximizing my profit, possibly in the same month. But when I go to sell that, open to close, I'm going to put in 9 cents. Yeah, I'm going to put in 8 cents. Okay? I am going to get my price. So utilize that limit order and try to get a little bit more than what the bid is asking. And when you go to buy your shares back, or buy the contracts back, place a bid in there a little bit below the ask. Okay? Get those crumbs. It's all about the crumbs. And hey, speaking of those crumbs, I always like to show you where we're at. And we're having fun. In fact, I'm going to bring this up here. Let's magnify this a little bit. Okay? It is always a learning process, and got my little spreadsheet. I know some of you folks want the spreadsheet shared, which I will share it with you. But for right now, I don't have a shared version happening. But these are the mini paychecks we are looking to collect time, and time again. Okay? We don't always win. We don't always lose. But if we could just keep collecting the mini paychecks, we'll take them every time. So, hey, until next time, I do hope you hit the subscribe button if you like this video. And, hey, look at some of these other videos where we've had some good success. And definitely love the mini paychecks. So, hey, I am going to write my covered call series on real estate covered calls. I know you might be looking for that. I mentioned that in my last video. I'm going to be doing that. So, hey, until next time, I hope all your covered calls are profitable.
All I see is signs, all I see is dollar signs.